Whatever it's made.
So it's when Aaron Rodgers sees the fully guaranteed $1 million for couples.
We don't have a forum right now. Jim's coming over.
Mark is coming?
There he is. There's Jim.
You are the quorum.
Mr. James Quorum.
Watch the power.
Please. All right, it's 1:31, so I call the City of Green Bay Redevelopment Authority Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Chairman Meyer is excused. Vice Chair Gary Delville.
Here.
Jim Blumreich.
Here.
Alderman Joe Moore.
Yes.
Melanie Parma is excused. Matt Schuler is excused. Tom Weber.
Here.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second?
Thanks for lack of a second.
Second. The approval of the agenda just about died.
The only exception, I guess I'd bring up is that Harry's not here, and so I would recommend that we postpone the election of officers and appointment of subcommittees till next meeting.
Oh, that's second. I don't think we're gonna get anything for the floor.
Good. So, all those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so 3-1 that we're gonna postpone that till next meeting. And approval of minutes from our February 13th meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
The motion, second to approve the minutes on February 13th. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Communications, none. Old business, none. New business. Consideration of possible action on a development agreement with Good Faith Framing and Remodeling for property located in 1130 Stewart Street.
Ken Rubinsky.
That would be me.
Ken.
Yeah, all right. So 1130 Stewart Street, property that we picked up in 2016 as part of a tax foreclosure with the Brown County Treasurer's Department. We put this out for RFP. We've had it out for RFP for a little less than a year. Once we, got through it and put it out there, we ended up getting 3 proposals back. Graded those as staff, and we are recommending Good Faith Framing and Remodeling. They will be purchasing the property from us for $5,000 along with the development agreement to go along with the proposal that is provided here in the packet.
A couple of quick questions. When would ownership actually turn over? From us to them? With this agreement, as soon as we sign this agreement?
Yeah, as soon as we sign the agreement, we deed the property over to them, they become owners right away.
And you feel comfortable you can get all this work done in like 6 weeks or thereabouts?
Yeah, they seem pretty confident, and meeting them, the developer on site seems pretty knowledgeable, has good contractors that met out there with us as well, so, yeah, it's a new, we haven't dealt with them before, but I think, I feel confident going forward with them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, is the principal fair?
Farron, actually, it is, I'm sorry, I have the wrong name on here, but, Gary Farron will be doing all of the work on
You
it.
confused my slow mind up here. I thought good faith, and then there's no good faith on the scoring sheet.
Oh, yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, sorry,
I worked it out.
yes.
Thank you.
So in this submitted here, it says, estimate repairs, total project cost to be $70,260. $260. Yeah, when I add up the numbers, it's 55,000 or 59,000, depending on which one you add up.
That's, with their actual repairs, and then they have their closing costs.
Oh, okay, the other stuff.
Also, the purchase price from the city
Okay.
is included in that 70,000.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the only questions I've had. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
With a motion and a second to approve the recommendation, all those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. Number 2. Consideration of possible action on the planning option with Green Bay Real Estate Investments LLC for property located 827 and 829 Cherry Street.
Ken, will you handle this as well?
That is me as well, yes. So GB Real Estate Investment LLC is looking to build 5 townhomes utilizing 2 of our lots on Cherry Street up here, 827 and 829, along with 2 other properties that they will be acquiring, with hopes to possibly expand more from there, but this would be like the phase 1 of this block. The townhomes would be facing North Van Buren. Switch to the next one. This is what they're proposing. This is just the preliminary rendering of it. This design, there's some changes that may take place here. Talking about possibly, looking at wrapping around the corner onto Cherry. Right now, just looking at a 6-month planning option to finalize those site plans and also to work with staff on possible TID funding for this project.
What did we pay initially for these lots?
Initially,
We told of 4 lots and 2 are from us and then 2 on the.
Correct. Right now, we have them valued at the $18,497 is what would need to be repaid back to the CDBG.
Which is the land value, right?
Which is the
Yeah.
land value. I believe, looking back here for 1 minute. Let's see here. At 827 was purchased for 67,600. $41,000 for 829.
We have 108,000 when we did the purchases. You want to open up the meeting to hear from Jared?
Yeah, Garrett is here too, so.
Yeah, motion to suspend the rules for.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the open discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Garrett, tell us about it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Essentially what you see is what you get. This is looking at 2 instead of 5 in a row, which is what would be planned at least as of now. But the same basic idea as the ones I've done, roughly 1,400 square feet, 2 stories. These would be built 4 feet out of the ground compared to the other ones. So instead of having 8-foot basement underground, and then starting from grade 4 and then bump
You're
it up.
still gonna have a basement?
Yep, it's a full basement, but it's 4 feet poured, 4 feet framed. So you can have windows down there a little bit easier.
And you're still gonna put drain tile?
Yeah. Yep. Yep, it's nothing more than less poured foundation, more stick. Yep.
So you're buying 2 other lots?
Correct, so if we can flip back to that. Yep, so what Ken has highlighted there, and then with 2 north along Van Buren from it.
And then these
1, 2.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, the ones on top too.
And so, what is,
Yeah.
so Ken had mentioned also potential expansion?
Yeah, in the what-if game that life sometimes has ways of laughing and playing with you. If the property to the west could become available at some point, or properties to the north, I mean, could that, as Ken said, wrap the block and then, go farther north towards Pine?
Yeah.
It could. Devilish smile, Cheryl.
So Ken, why are you excited about this project?
Well, there's just a lot of positive growth, I think, in this area. It basically just expands on the Whitney School project, and there's already success over on, the
Right.
Whitney Park townhomes.
And it gets some property back on the
Right.
tax rolls.
We have owned 827 for a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I purchased that, it was an old storefront with a house in front
So
of it.
that was
It
a tear
nasty.
down, yeah.
That was a tear down.
About that corner lot.
No, the one right next to it.
Oh, behind the drugstore. Or,
If you saw the picture, you probably recognize it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those nasty store. That was converted to all residential.
Is part of your planning option shooting for any pre-sales? I mean, have you already started?
So if you go to whitneypark.com right now, we have a landing page up there for interested buyers. So I believe we have 150 some already. Now that's between that and 901 Main, so they're together. But every interested buyer that I've had since the townhomes were completed has gone on a list and they've all been added here.
Okay.
So that's a long way of saying, yes, people go to whitneypark.com right now, put on your email address. When the full site's ready to go, they get blasted for it. And
that website again is whitneypark.com. Okay.
One more time.
Those original townhouses went quite quickly, didn't they? The first group.
Yeah, so built them in 3 phases to prove that we had a
Yep.
concept that
Yep.
people liked. But then right at the very end, every day since those have been completed now, which is a little over 2 years, the website has remained active. About every 10 to 14 days, I get an interest from the website saying that someone's interested. So I think between mine and even what Lindsay and Anand are doing there, there's interest, and I don't see a lack of that.
Okay.
There are going to be 2 or 4 living units there.
The plans have 5 in a row. There was a code change, or I should say a code modification with the state, where how many you could have in a row before you had the sprinkler or fire alarm. And it actually changed from when I built the last set of 4 that I had to now, that they became a little less onerous. So if that code modification remains in place, we can do 5 in a row. We don't have to sprinkler, don't have to fire alarm. It makes the costs more advantageous.
And each unit is going to be a 2-story.
Yep, same as what you see with mine right now.
So you're gonna start with 5, assuming the code stays the same?
Correct.
I just have one request.
Yes.
If at some point Garrett is successful in obtaining that house to the west, that he please would call us and allow us to move that somewhere.
Cheryl knows how I feel about that.
That's an original, that's in like an original painted thing. It is.
Oh, really?
Garrett, you're thinking about a control burn. She's thinking about a
Send me
relocation
some
of a
time.
historic building.
Look, I've
I
moved
just-
houses before, just-
I know you, and you.
As have I, you can have it.
which I think will be good, because they'll let me have it. So the rest will be able to find a spot for
It's
it.
all yours, Cheryl.
I feel
If you
like-
buy it, you can have it, get it out of there.
All right.
I think it's one of these original owners,
Oh, really?
family
Oh, my gosh.
since built.
The fan, really?
Yes,
We're
and
talking
it's,
1800s?
yeah,
It's neat.
it is, yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
I think there's an elderly woman who's been there, we've had, we've met with her a couple of times, but
Yeah, Kevin King. No.
it's one of the original Green Bay painted ladies, so I would just say, let me move it, Garrett.
Any other questions for Garrett?
Just curious, on your Whitney, I think you have like an alley, and that's access for
Yep.
the garage and all that. You're gonna do the same with these units?
Same kind of thought here. So if you see mine there at the very top of the page, mirror image and
Yes,
rotate them
yes.
if you will.
Yes.
That kind of the idea. Same thing, so private alleys serving the garages from the back. If the properties to the west can become available, then on the west side of that alley, could you do 2 or 3 more facing Cherry? You could. If properties to the north become available, you can keep that alley going north, same thing. It would maybe loop around then to Van Buren, but you'd have 3 or maybe 4 more on that north side.
All right, cool, thank you.
Yep.
Ken, besides selling these lots at a very good price, what other city commitment would be in this project?
We'd be looking at possibly using some TID funding on it, but we haven't put any of those numbers together yet.
Okay.
That's kind of what we want to do during the planning option.
What TID is this? Doesn't mean.
There is not a TID there yet. Actually, we're going to be creating that TID. So,
Right. Any other questions of Garrett? If not, I entertain a motion to get back to regular order of business.
So move.
Thank you.
Jim and Joe, or Joe and Jim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we're back to regular order of business.
Move to approve item number 2.
Second.
Jim and Tom, first and second to approve item number 2. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? So carried. Good luck, Garrett.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 3, consideration and possible action awarding the 2017 Fair Housing Services RFP in the amount of $15,000.
I'll move to approve.
Move to approve.
Okay, yeah, we've dealt with this before.
Mhm.
There's a motion.
This has been 10,000 in the past, hasn't it?
Yes. They're charging us more.
But
Very
very pleased with their service.
Yep, they do a great job. We sent it out for RFP, so they're the only bidder.
I was gonna say, but even if they didn't do a good job,
They're the only
take it back
bidder.
to us.
Be nice to have
Jim and
someone-
who's second? Tom?
Yep.
Okay, Jim and Tom, first and second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. Number 4, so we'll do some remodeling.
Okay, so you have in your packet the floor plan of what our proposal is for this remodel. So it's next, the entire floor is being remodeled. The whole purpose is to try to combine our customer service into one counter space. So we're gonna be removing some walls and whatnot. We have a number of desks that literally are 30 to 40 years old. We've just really not done any type of upgrading on the 6th floor. So we've gone through the bonding process and the remodel has been approved. And that's actually in the process now. We're preparing for that. We're preparing to move. We are gonna have to go to bid for furniture and for the tech and that type of thing for this floor. So we're using whatever we can. We do have desks that we can reuse. But we're replacing a lot of the desks. All these structured systems that, where the inspectors are going to be going are new. Standing desk systems that'll be in the area. We've got some collaborative spaces that we're putting in here as well. We had a design group come in, Emmons, to do some initial designs for us and give us some cost estimates that came in very high. They're working on bringing those numbers down for us, but we have to bid this out. So this is gonna go out for bid, these furniture purchases. We're asking to use up to $150,000 of, these are reclaimed block grant funds. So they're not the money that comes in annually. It's the money that we have used and has come back to
Yes,
us through
yes.
repayments
Right.
that we've been accumulating for probably 20, 30 years. We have about $166,000 in that account. We want to use up to $150,000 with the goal of using the least amount of that block grant as we can. I think we're going to realize some savings from our asbestos estimates of $20,000. I think this bid's going to come back in lower than what we have estimated at the $150,000. So I'm asking for approval of up to $150,000 of these funds with the expectation that any other money we have available through the bonding process, we will not use the block grant funds. I think there's also a proposal going in, our bonding's coming in April, and I think there's going to be some money put in that as well to cover some of these costs, so.
If you go to page 5, which is the CDBG financial report, so what area is the $150,000?
I don't think,
What area would be coming out?
I don't think we've got, we don't list all of the accounts on here. I'm not sure that that's in these accounts.
Why don't we list all the accounts?
We have a lot of them. We've got like 432 funds and Broadway. I mean, we've got all different kinds of funding sources.
It's a spending budget, not a balance sheet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The balance
So-
in that account is 166,000 last time.
Okay. And what's the name of the account? 166,000?
Right now, it's just unrestricted block grant.
Oh, unrestricted.
Yeah, unrestricted block grant funds.
Unrestricted block grant, okay.
Have we used those at all recently in the last several years? They just got sitting out there.
We did do some remodeling because we got a new ceiling in here and we turned the table this way and that's gotta be
I don't know,
7 or
yeah.
8 years ago.
I think it was longer than that.
Is it?
I'm not sure if we used the unrestricted block grant for that. I know we might have used it for some design or some, like the Burner-Schober designs for the floor. We've drawn from that account.
So what's asbestos? Did we leave the old tile underneath? or-
Not here, but the whole department, this is an entire department, so.
Is it
there's asbestos.
flooring that asbestos or?
The mastic actually underneath the tiles
Yeah,
is the
okay.
asbestos, so
Yeah.
there's that. All of this, like this room was done, but the rest of the department hasn't been. so
Duct tape,
Ceiling
just
tile.
We still have the old
duct
metal,
tape over the asbestos.
nicotine stained
Yeah.
ceiling tiles in the back section.
You mean they used to smoke?
They did actually, back in the old days,
Might
but,
be some stains back there too. yeah.
we
Yeah.
have 5 points of public access to this floor that needs to be secured. The doorknobs are being changed, so
Sure.
they're not the door,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. The bubbler's being replaced on this
Water
floor.
bubbler.
I'm not-
I know Wisconsin, it's the bubbler, right?
So it looks like you're gonna turn our table back to the way it was. before.
Yes, and so in this, the proposal in this room is to replace this table and these chairs.
Well, thank you for the chairs.
Not that I don't miss that pinch on my arm every so often, but, so we replace this table and these chairs to reorient the meeting this way. We're looking for probably a larger screen on this end, and a smaller screen. So, but not a whole lot done in this room, because we,
Like 14 years and you leave it like this and then I'm gonna,
Yeah.
well, you knew that
It'll
you'd
be
be
in your
leaving,
honor.
Tom, so
It'll be in your honor.
Yeah.
we'll rename it the Weber Room.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting this, but if we didn't take it out of CDBG, would we have, where'd you get the money? Where'd it come?
We'd ask for the bond, we'd
Bond?
go to fully bond, for this.
Okay.
There might be some 432 funds
Right.
in there that we've used. Those are kind of the repays too. Those can be used on Broadway. So,
is this part of an overall or long-range plan for City Hall too, with other floors? Or is this kind of a standalone?
well, there's a long-range plan, I know, for safety that's in the works with regards to panic buttons and the, cameras and that type of thing. Unfortunately, sixth floor really hasn't had a lot done to it. So we don't even have a panic button or those types of things. So that's going to be included in this remodel as well. Most of the floors have had the ceilings done and the asbestos taken out and those things. So
Okay.
we might be one of the last ones. I think third floor needs all that done as well. But we may be one of the last floors to actually have the remodel done.
Okay. But this isn't, that's not a plan in place, this isn't a part of a plan?
No, this is just the sixth floor
Yeah.
plan. So,
Besides us coming up with the funds, who else has to approve the plan? The council or?
yep, City Council has approved the remodel.
Okay.
The bid, Howard Amo was the
Oh.
the contractor who's going to come in
Okay.
through the work. So that's been all approved through
Okay.
last year's bonding.
So just a matter of coming up with the money,
Mhm.
this is your
Yep.
recommendation.
Yep.
Entertain a motion.
We'll move to,
Go ahead.
Zoom to
Tom,
approve
before
up
you
to
go
150,000 for the remodeling project on sixth floor.
ahead. With CDBG funds.
Yes. As proposed.
Unrestricted, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you have a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second to approve the CDBG funds up to 150,000 for sixth floor remodeling. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Opposed, so carried. Oh, down to bills. I really like this, we didn't always have this, the home and CBG report. It's like, I think next time when we have a full committee, we will go on to that a little more. Just to better understand it, because I'm not sure everybody understands it thoroughly.
It'd be good since Krista is on vacation this week. You better, then she can explain all of this.
Carrie tells me you approved the bills, so I entertain a motion for our approval.
So moved.
Second?
Tom and Joe, all those in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. Informational, director's not here. Sure.
Well, I can tell you that our next meeting will be in room 310. We are closing down 604 on March 19th, will be the last meetings in this room. Because we're going to be staging things in this room, so our next meeting will be in 310. Public Works in the very end of the hall.
Would you guys get to sit up in that?
Any,
No. That's a big conference room like this.
Oh, that is?
Public Works,
Comfy
yeah.
chairs.
Huh?
Comfy chairs.
Oh, that was two,
Yeah.
200 or whatever.
any other project updates? Really? Bill?
Moved a lot of properties from the last meeting, 159 North Maple, and
Did you hire that part-time person to help with the rats?
that's going to be coming in June, so we're getting close, probably start that process later this month.
Where do we have with the Shower and Schumacher building?
That's the question.
Can you say?
Kind of in the same spot. I know we did some open houses there, and I think we had the same interest in some of the temporary heating things there. As far as new interest, I haven't heard anything just between last time and now.
I think our last discussions We're gonna take it on. We're gonna look at how we can either
Good.
white box it or take it on and
Yep.
get it into a use at least, so.
Because otherwise, the longer we wait, the
We're gonna have
less
to-
chance that that would be successful.
Right,
And I
right.
think it's really an important building in our downtown
Mhm.
community.
Yeah, I do too.
Brian, what's happening on Broadway?
Well, I mean, obviously the rail yard's the big thing
Yes.
right now. I
Yes.
mean, Press Gazette just did a nice article with infrastructure improvements that are going to be coming in down there. TWG, I think it was also reported, didn't receive that
Oh, yes.
round of housing credits from WDC. Was it WDC that was giving those away?
The TWG project on the rail yard did not get them, but the Friary did, which is the one next to St. Mary's Church.
Yeah, oh, okay.
That did.
They, yes, they were
No.
awarded, but
And
TWG
the
was not.
church doesn't own that property at all, do they?
Correct. There's a, I believe
They're
there's,
leasing back.
yep, like a perpetual lease for the church section, but then I think it's gonna be owned by the developer. the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I seen you had a state of the Broadway meeting?
Yeah, went really well. We had, honestly, when you resurrect something, you never know. We were hoping we had 30 people. I think we had about 120.
Oh, my God,
That
excellent.
showed up, so it was a great turnout. People are generally interested in what was happening.
Yes.
For us, it's just rebuilding a lot of infrastructure, how we operate as an organization. But, yeah, a couple of exciting things going on.
Excellent.
And it's like anything, right? You build a strong foundation, and then it takes a few years to do that, but then it just accelerates after that. So
It's sounding like a pretty good board.
we do. Yeah, we've got some great talent on there. We've good mix of small business people, but some outside influence as well that can kind of help provide some different perspective.
Excellent. Anything else, Ralph?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
So we'll
Second?
Jim and Joe.
what
All in
happens
favor,
if
say aye.
Second set, motion to adjourn.
The
chair.
the chair declares?
Yeah, I know, that's Harry, just to call it a short meeting.
Harry doesn't wait for the motion.
I know he doesn't, I know.